Honestly, the first thing that you really have to look at, and I believe is the overarching umbrella to everything that an author does, and in most businesses, is your relationships. First, the relationship that you have with the book. Do you love it? Are you proud of it? Are you passionate about it? And then taking it down from there, how are you going to strategically put out your book? So you need to create a marketing and sales and publicity plan first. After you've created that plan, then it starts with implementing it. So you look at your relationship with your website. Do you have a website? Do you have a website just for the book? Is the book prominent on your own website? How many people are you connecting with on your website? Do you have advertisers, affiliates? So it's about a website. So do you have an email list? How many contacts are on your email list? Are you considering buying an email list? One of the best ways to get out an email blast is using a constant contact service. They're terrific about putting out email lists. Do you have any people that you can contact to endorse or review your book? So do you have any name authors, particularly in the genre that you're publishing in? Do you have any VIPs, people who might be interested in the content of your book, who could promote it to their own lists, members, associates, that sort of thing? The next influencer and big relationship that you have, particularly today, is through social media. Are you on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram? How many followers do you have? How many connections do you have? Are you updating your timeline in a frequent manner, but not too frequent? So it's recommended maybe 3 to 5 times a week. What about your content? Are you engaging your followers and connections? Are you engaging them enough that they're talking about you on their own timelines? These are all things to consider about social media. The other thing to consider when talking about your book on social media is to take a look at the demographics of your social media contacts. What I mean by that is, if you've written a book on baking, are a lot of your followers in the food industry? Are there restaurants listening to you? Are there foodies, bakers, bakeries? And if so, are they willing to talk about your content? Is it pertinent to what they're interested in? So social media has become pretty much the #1 way and means for establishing and cultivating your relationships. A blog. Do you write a blog? If you're writing a blog, that too has to be updated several times a week. How many people are subscribing to your blog? Do you have advertisers or affiliates with your blog? Do you know other bloggers that are interested in your content? And are they willing to interview you and perhaps create a blog tour? This could be really big and produce a lot of sales. The next item I would talk about are events. Whether you're doing an event online or in person, which is live, you really need to know who you're directing that event to. Who's your demographic again? How are you going to get the message out about your event? There are many ways to do that, and I would suggest that you take a hard look whether you're looking online to do events or virtual events. But make sure that you do your homework and how to reach out to those people. The next thing I would talk about is publicity. I would highly recommend, if you can afford it, to hire a publicist for at least the first 6 to 8 weeks that your book is going to be released, preferably 2 weeks prior to the release of the book, and then follow through for at least 6 weeks. It's a huge advantage, but many of us can't do that. So what should you do? You can create an electronic press kit, which is an EPK. That can be sent out over the wire through PR Wire and or HARO, which is HARO, Help a Writer Out. Great resources for pushing out a lot of information and publicity about your book. Sales. Well, if you've been doing everything that we've just talked about, sales should be the natural thing to follow, wouldn't you say? Well, sales only happens if you have done your homework. You have to know first, how is your book going to be distributed? Is it going to appear online at online outlets? Is it going to be in brick and mortar stores? How about specialty stores, organizations, corporations, clubs? Where is it going to appear? Is it going to be in libraries? Will your book be available through wholesalers such as Ingram and Baker & Taylor? You must know, and it's important to know, how your book is going to be distributed. because in that demographic distribution is how you know how to target your sales for your particular book.
Thank you for listening. Please review our other available content for help writing, publishing, and marketing your book. If you have any questions about the Author Learning Center, please contact us by email at authorsupport@authorlearningcenter.com.